All right, and hello, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for joining me. We just had a quick little 5-minute.
I guess here on the Holocron House 2. That was for Star Wars Use the Force, Discover How to Be a Jedi. I knew I had ordered the book and I was waiting to get it, but I wasn't expecting it to be in the box that my Black Series came in that you saw me do the video on the other day. So I had it up on the stand, so I just recorded it really quick, and that's where that one comes from. And I guess we just finished that one. Everybody had time to go use the facilities and get a frosty beverage, and now we're on to this one. And then this one's going to end, and you're going to get to go over to Rebel Scum. They have one coming out at 7 o'clock. So I've been told from a pretty reliable source, I would have to say. So, all right, we got sound. Everybody's good. Everybody's happy. Then I guess we can get right into this bad boy. Do that. We'll make that picture big, I guess. Or bigger, I should say. If I can get rid of that. All right, I think we started this page yesterday quickly, and that's when it got all blurry and fuzzy. So I don't know what happened with that. I don't mean to harp on this, but it's kind of not the easiest thing in the world to be using a cell phone and a little notebook. My cell phone's 5 times stronger than the notebook, so we'll just see what happens. Hopefully we can make it today. If not, we'll figure it out like we always do. But I put the link on there if anybody wants to try and hop in here. All right, Rural Farm Boy caught a VD today, I guess, on his lap. I don't know what he was doing, but I heard they have good buffets at those clubs. Anyways, let's get down to business over here. All right, so we have the Resistance Commanders. I'm just going to start this all over again because I don't know how much we did yesterday. Age and combat attrition have taken their toll on the senior command staff of the Resistance. Now that the full extent of the First Order's war plan has revealed itself, it has become clear that many elders of the Rebel Alliance command were specifically targeted to remove them as threats early on. What at that time had seemed like a streak of unrelated tragedies had actually been shaped by the invisible hand of the burgeoning First Order. It now falls to the new generation of leadership to carry on the cause. All right, and here we go. We have Aftab Akbar. Gail Akbar's sudden death aboard the cruiser Radis came as a heavy blow to the Resistance. Beyond the tactical loss, it was a deeply personal loss for many, particularly to young Aftab, who greatly admired his father. Aftab had implored Gail to return to retirement after a brief stint with the Resistance. That the elder admiral remained in command until the very end of his legacy, Aftab now must live up to. Aftab's recruitment was part of a larger effort to bring more Mon Calamari aid to the Resistance. All right, and then we have Maz Kanata up here that we all know, and I guess Maz Kanata is going to be. We got a lot more Maz Kanata coming out pretty soon. What the rumors have it in some of the books we have coming out. Maz has seen wars come and go in her more than 1,000 years of life, but this one feels different to her. With her age, wisdom, attunement to the Force, she sees familiar patterns following new paths and senses that the coming conflict is the culmination of a struggle that has spanned her entire lifetime. Not a frontline combatant, Kanata stays in the Resistance base, never far from Leia Organa, to whom she dispenses invaluable advice. All right, and then we have Commander Garfran. He has an electronics removed from macroscope to rely on basic optics. Oh, I didn't tell you about AFTABs. He's a bulbous man calamari. Eyes provide 180 degrees arc of vision. He's got a Y-wing pilot's uniform. We know that it's important to always know about these little facts they give us. Kirksel Garfen had no particular love for the New Republic, but sees the First Order as far worse. He is fiercely independent and sees fighting as part of the Resistance to be the best possible way to preserve that independence. A born survivalist, Garfan embraces the challenge of roughing it in the wild terrain. Agent Kloss appeals to him, as he feels most at home in the complete absence of civilization. All right, we got a fun file down here for this Jungle X hopper. It is a custom-made special. It's a Jungle X hopper. For the Resistance, it's 1.6 meters high, which is 5.3 inches. Length is 4.42 meters, 14.6 inches. One crew, no weapons. Thrust engine surrounding repulsor coils. Repurposed INCOM canopy. Articulated steering vane, shroud, and landing skids. The Jungle X hopper is a compact starship custom craft by Rose Tico and the Resistance Engineering Division from surplus found in a New Republic depot. Its frame is a repurposed T-65 X-Wing cockpit lifted with repulsor coils, thrusters, and steering vans. Rose calls it a mini-rig, harking back to an earlier era of compact design. It assists with air traffic control, guiding ships in and out of the jungle. Let's see, Real Farm Boys correcting my Gartfran. That's what I said, Gartfran. Pete stopped by. Oh, Pauline's here. Pauline Harvey, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, Pauline, a lot of these characters are, we don't even know. You might see them in the back, in the background. Some of them don't even have any really part. They're just ancillary characters. You know, it's funny if you go back to like the original trilogy. Every character in the original trilogy has a name and a backstory to it. And even if you go, I was listening to Star Wars Sessions, quite possibly the best podcast in England. I was listening to them today, and someone had written in that the hero or the star, whatever, however you want to put it, of Return of the Jedi, they asked who it was. And this person's take on it, kind of joking around, but maybe kind of serious. I forget the person's name, but it was the skull that Luke uses in the Rancor pit. And that person in the Rancor pit, his skull has a name, going back to Legends. So, it's all these little things that us people that are sitting here talking word for word about an encyclopedia, or getting the VD on, that's what we do, because it's like, oh, there's someone in there who doesn't have a name. Someone's got to think of a name for him. But all right, let's get back into this bad boy. Commander Dacey, formerly a fleet officer aboard the Radis, Larma Dacey has stepped into a broader strategic command position personally advising General Leo Organa on First Order movements and tactics. She has loosened up from her more conventional fleet role, rolling up her sleeves to participate in the hands-on work of getting that Agent Kloss outpost operational. Scarf was a gift from Warby Tice. And I think we talked about Commander Dacey the other day. I just brought it up really quickly. She was one of the, ones that her wife or her girlfriend is. We talked about her earlier. Yeah, Lieutenant Tice. That's right. It is they're each other's wives. So that's where we talked about, Disney giving us a little bit here and there of representation, but it's kind of like, here's a little bit just so we can say we gave it to you, but really not enough. It's like giving you a crust of bread when you're starving. So, not trying. See, I'm gonna get myself in trouble now. I was gonna make a joke, and then people are gonna get all upset. Like, stop being so thirsty. Shit. Now I'm gonna get shut down. It's all a joke, people. I make bad jokes. You should all know that by now. There's love in my heart, no hatred, just stupid jokes. All right, Major Aegon, fabric-covered shallow pith helmet, a botanist before he rejoined the resistance. Phaedon Aegon must stay focused on his duties, lest he be distracted by the wealth of plant life surrounding the resistance outpost on Agent Kloss. With permission from General Organa, he scouts the perimeters for samples that may prove promising to use in equipment, food, or medicine. Okay, then right underneath that, we have Lieutenant Chirin from Jameer. Arton Chirin was recruited, but then held in reverse, being asked instead to gather what intelligence he could in his local area of operation. The Hosnian cataclysm accelerated his involvement, calling him and his sister into active duty. As part of Agent Kloss' command staff, Chirin serves as a quartermaster, allocating resources to the soldiers, pilots, and technicians in need. His sister, Nimi, pilots an X-Wing fighter. I wonder if he had anything to do with the Tantive 4. If he had anything to do with that, making sure the Tantive 4 was up and running very nicely. Okay, we have another fun file over here. Rose has developed a custom proton bomb for delivery by B and Y-Wing fighters, as she has nicknamed the Pager, in honor of her late sister. Rose has developed modifications in hyperdrive systems that make it hard for first-order systems to track ships. It requires making risky jumps within the gravitational curve of planets, then compensating for the trajectory shift post-jump. And then we have the wonderful Rose Tico. We can talk about that later. Let's just get through this book. Rose has risen through the ranks from lowly engineering support technician to military commander. She leads the engineering corps in making the necessary modifications to keep the resistance gear operational, as well as countering new advancements in first-order technology. She has a grudging respect for the first-order science, but is eager to capture it to repurpose it for a better cause. Rose has been particularly useful in developing communication system bypass, first-order jamming or interception method, working closely with the resistance droid pool to construct her new biohexacrypt codes. All right, now this is probably very important that everyone knows this. Her hair is tied back to avoid getting caught in machinery. That's probably very important to know. She doesn't care about signs of rank. Open collar indicates warm Agent Kloss weather. Rose hails from a cold planet. It's good to know that she's hot, so she has to open up her collar and pop it. That's very very important that we know this. And then she has a Hosnian smelt medallion, originally one of a pair. Her sister had the other one. And now, see, that's something important to know. Talk about that. Not that her, she's got one button undone, so she's not as hot. I mean, come on. There's so much more information you can give us than that. I expect more out of you. But then again, I mean, look what you did to her character. So, all right, let's see what's going on. Everybody likes Rose. Rural Farm Boy's getting angry. He's been getting angry the last couple of days we've been doing this dictionary. And this, the VD is making him lose his mind. I don't know what kind of VD that is. Maybe someone can look into that. Google it. All right. Oh, I got to do. All right. Let's see. This is where we ran into our problem yesterday when I tried to switch and I know I'm complaining about this. I talk about this. So for those of you that do any computer work or know anything about that 6-minute video that I made that we watched before this about that book, it took 4 hours to render and upload for a 6-minute video, bro. That is insane. If I had a regular video where I was doing something for 20 minutes or a half hour, it would take an entire day. And that's still a short one. But anyways, yeah, that's why the podcast hasn't been posted in a couple of days, just because I don't have. It would take 2 days to download it. Yeah, it's I talked to James a little bit earlier, and I said, if we didn't love this shit, we wouldn't be doing it. Sitting around for 4 hours. Just I can't do anything else on the computer because anything I try and do, it slows it down even more. So, but once I get that other bad boy back from the shop, man, that's going to take 2 seconds to do. Yeah, let's hope. I talked to them yesterday, and they told me that it should be there. The normal turnaround time is 2 to 3 weeks. And I said, well, it was dropped off 2 weeks ago, so hopefully I'll have it back sometime next week. But they really don't know. But anyways, all right. This is the resistance support. The ramshackle nature of Agent Claw's base means its support personnel are more visible in past outputs. They diligently keep the headquarters functional, building out the base while supporting its operations. These beings work tirelessly so that the command and combat staff can focus on their priorities, never having to worry about facilities or infrastructure. Their work may go unsung, but the resistance would collapse without the help of its techs, engineers, analysts, and quartermasters. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I just want to say, so maybe some good news. I was speaking to one of the representatives from a book company, and they asked me for my address. So whether or not that's just going to be for one book or for all the books, or whatever they can give me, that's a plus. And Johnny Orm hooked me up with some online thing. I picked up. I got the new Clone Wars book. I don't actually have the book. It's on. I have the file to download, and I have the new Poe Dameron book. So I have early copies of those. So those still don't come out for a little while. So I got a little time to read those. So I'll be able to do reviews of those as soon as they come out. And then, yeah, I mean, I'm still going to buy the hard copy or buy the book, but, or audiobook or whatever, or all three, you can't go wrong with that. But anyways, all right, Real Farm Boy, I'm going to need you to pronounce this one for me. Vazit Dippert? Zazit Dippert? Dipters? Zazit Dipters. He's got a silk scarf, prevents distraction by nearby scents. Okay. I'm not really sure what's going on there, but a Cyclorian technician who rides a lift loader work frame. Vazit is a taskmaster who lords it over the Cyclaren swarm that has committed itself to resistance through non-Cyclorans. Humans in particular may find Zazit's managerial approach overbearing. It is culturally acceptable among his kind and produces efficient results. Zazit is rarely ever seen off his work frame, which some have linked to a walking throne despite its industrial origins. He has a lifter cartridge with magnetized forks. It's got carry handles on the canister and suspension, servo motors, and exposed gyro balance systems. All right, now that's called a gyro balance system, but if it was a sandwich, it would be a gyro. Makes you smart. What do we got going on here? I can't keep up with the chat because I can't read and look. Oh, Patrick's here. Hey, Patrick. So we have a vintage DH-17 blaster rifle for Siosara Thwisp, a one-time resistance spy from Capedix, okay, who kept tabs on First Order activities along the borderlands. Thwisp was recalled when the Cold War heated up following the Hosnian Cataclysm. She is now an intelligence analyst, offering up her accumulated expertise in First Order activity. The action against the Exegol reinforcements gives her an opportunity to return to the field. And then we have, I don't know how, do we pronounce the J on here? Is it like Spanish? Is it English? I don't know. What are the rules in basic? And are the rules in basic? What does the J sound? Is it a J? So is it June Gabant? He has reinforced sleeves, refueling hose with filter port, barbed face after smolting. Huh. After molting. Oh, he was molting. We know about some molten action going on right now. If you didn't see the Mandalorian. Gambit is a post-fledging Mythrol who manages consumables refreshments for the Resistance starfighters. He carefully catalogs every millimeter of liquid metal riponim and each vial of coaxium in the Resistance stores and chastises pilots who expend more than their mission allotments. An amateur chemist, Gabnet concocts new additives to extend fuel supplies and experiments with alternative power sources. Yeah, so that's the same dude that we see in the Mandalorian. Well, not the same dude, but he's a Mythrol, so he did his thing. Pauline, because Rural Farm Boy listens to how everything is pronounced, and I swear he's like I'm doing things when I'm listening. I'm on the subway, I'm in the shower, I'm making dinner, whatever it is. So I sometimes miss a little bit of pieces here and there. I swear that man sits down with a notebook and it starts off and he's gonna say, "Oh, okay, Jan transmission," and next to it says Pete and Rick and Eden. So he knows whose names are on it. He's got them. He's got everything, and he writes his notes in there, and it has everything. He's if you go to his house, he's got a wall full of notebooks with. If I'm like, oh, gee, I wonder what I was talking about on septic tank number 14, he'd be like, hang on, I'll give you a minute. Well, this is what you were talking about, Michael. So, all right. Hooper Tenrix, a Telapidinin weapons specialist. Trennick serves as armorer for Agent Claw's outpost. His visual acuity at extreme close ranges gifts him with unrevealed repair skills perfect for the upkeep and modification of weaponry. He is effectively face blind when it comes to distinguishing resistance members, particularly humans. He recognizes people by their gear. I mean, he's not a speciesist. We just all look the same to him. He has an EL-16 HFE blaster rifle with acoustic aiming aid. His hair stands on the end as threat gestures or when nervous. Make sure everybody's hitting that like button. Make sure you're sharing it on the YouTubes and the Twitters and the Facebooks and everything. Get a couple more people up in here. I can't say art makes you smart because we're not doing art right now. The VD makes keep coming back. I don't know. All right. Finlas and Oldasur. Traditional Rosarian locks. Sharp eyesight, can see in ultraviolet and infrared. See, those are things that are important to know, like little trivia pieces. Not she's got her button undone because she's hot. Leg bitings keep out insects and moisture. Finlas and Oldasur joined the resistance as a pair, having sworn a vow of companionship as part of their marriage. Soldiers and scouts, they employ their precise sense in reconnecting the outlying jungle beyond the resistance base, seeking out dangers and resources alike. They've been able to detect freshwater springs by sound and scent alone. They have plotted migratory paths of local fauna based on examination of the underbrush. As bound Rosarians, they are highly attuned to each other's whereabouts. All right. And then let's see down here, this guy at the bottom, he kind of looks familiar. What do we got here? He's got a graying beard, typical of aging Terrasant. His name is Ibden Dand, father of resistance technician Voberdand. Iben joined the cause after the Hosmian Cataclysm. Iben originally forbade Vober from joining part of the resistance, fearing the worst. It was only after the First Order's ruthlessness was revealed to his galaxy that Abdon truly appreciated his son's bravery. He now serves with Vober in the ground crew, learning more about his son from those who work with him. And it's like these are things that I don't know on the Schmodown. Are they going to be like, who is Vober Dan's father? I mean, that would be a good question. And you'd have to, have this all 100 pages or 200 pages mesmerized. It's mesmerizing, but have it memorized, along with all the other visual dictionaries and the art books and everything, not just the movies anymore, kids. We've got some serious shiznits going on. All right, here we go. This guy looks familiar. Wizich Moser, part of the Cyclerian swarm that has joined the resistance. Wizich, the technician most interested in interacting with non-Cyclorians, uncharacteristically inquisitive and independent, he has learned Sabak and is spreading this knowledge throughout the swarm. Such distraction bothers overseas Vazit Dipster. That's the homeboy that rides the walking thing from RoboCop. From Alien. No, that's from Alien. He's got the alien thing going on. But as long as the swarm only indulges in such activity during its 20-minute daily break, he will allow it. 20 minutes for your break. That's not a long break. I mean, I'm on a 20-minute break every hour, every half hour. All right, so we got Compound Eye, antenna for navigating darkened hives. pheromone scent mask. Feet are naturally adhesive, so he has basically he's got negative gravity feet. Oh, Yipsit, how you doing, Yipsit? The Shakira, not really Shakira, what is it? Shankaran mechanic, known only as Yipsit, is part of the, oh, here we go, Tantive 4 refurbishment group. He scales its armored surface with an innate confidence born of having to grow up on the cliff faces of Bestine 4. Oh, okay. I got to figure out how to turn on my notifications. Did you guys hear that little buzz that came on? Where did we left? See. Oh, yeah. Rebel Scum. 30 minutes. Going live. Let's get back over here. Oh my God. Everybody's coming out at 7 o'clock. I just got 3 notifications. But I guess we got to go to Rebel Scum and check out James. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now I've just opened up everything here. So give me a second. I don't know what you guys are looking at right now. And another one just came in. You guys are killing me, man. Not you guys, but all these notifications. I just got 4 notifications for 7 o'clock. Dude, this is horrible. Horrible, I say. All right, so let me get rid of that one, hopefully. And that one, hopefully. And we'll get back over to here. All right. Where do we leave off? The Tantive 4 guy is diminutive size and compressible cartilaginous. Dude, all right. I know this isn't the subject tank, but cartilaginous? Compressible cartilaginous is, I think, what it is right there. I don't know. Skeleton allows him to crawl deep into access tunnels that wouldn't fit a human adult. Okay. I'm marking this page because we're talking about this on the subject tank because somebody had to play on words right there. Mm-hmm. All right. Talopi Nur. Nur is an amiable Maotian with large eyes and a pronounced snout lined with a sensitive olfactory receptors. He is well suited for his role as a field medic since he can smell illness and injury as well as the body's natural defense against them. In this way, he can diagnose patients quickly and accurately and administer appropriate treatment. He has dexterous claw fingers originally evolved for digging. I got notifications for Star Wars Coffee, Tatooine Sons, and Star Wars Explained. So I'll be honest, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a Rural Farm Boy. I'm going to listen to 2. I'm going to listen to I'm going to watch and listen to Rural Scum and watch and listen to Tatooine Sons. And that way, Tatooine Sons is probably a little bit shorter. I'm going to guess. I don't know what the time frame is on that one, but I'll do double duty. And some people can do it, some people can't. When I used to manage restaurants and run restaurants, I would sit in the office. I'd have radio in one ear. I'd be counting money, drinking, smoking, doing whatever, and listen to the people out in the hall talking. Why have somebody else in the office talking to me? So it's like, doing like 5 things at once, just trying to, there's no such thing as multitasking, but trying to keep as many things going at one time. All right, another fun file right here. We have resistance support crew are expected to log combat training hours so everyone can do their part defending against the First Order if required. The lack of barracks on Agent Klaus means most of the support crew live and sleep aboard the Tantive E4 when not on duty. All right, we got another page over here. If I can get my computer to work. All right. Droids. Pete, your question's obvious. The Tantive has 4 rooms. I'm about to lose a Patreon, I think, if Pete, I will pull out cross sections and try and find a cross section for the Tantive V4. Because I have quite a few cross sections. I got to see if I have that one. I'm sure I do. What do you think it would be in? It would be in the OT, or would it be in one of these? Could be in one of the later ones, or I'll just look through. I don't know. I have a couple of books. Maybe I have that one. If not, we'll figure it out. I'll just buy it for you. Well, I mean, I'll buy it for myself so I can tell you. Good excuse. All right, resistance droids. With only minimal repair facilities available on Agent Klaus and rough cave floors instead of polished hallways beneath their wheels, feet, or treads, the droids of the Resistance joined their organic colleagues in roughing it in the new jungle home. The damp conditions are especially trying for droids and technicians working diligently to ensure their delicate electronic innards stay dry. Some astromechs are extra eager for flight assignments since this allows them to escape the rainforest humidity to the vacuum of space. Yeah, I wasn't sure if where we might find it. But yeah, what was the book I pulled out the other day? That's got the 3 of them in there. I think it's got the original trilogy. It's the cross section of the original trilogy, prequel trilogy, and then the blueprints. That one might be it. And then we'll talk about this after. Let me get this book done. Damn you. Okay, OCJK14, an older Treadwell-style astromech droid of a type once popular in the Outer Rim. OCJK14 roams the undergrowth of Agent Klaus looking to be productive. Often underfoot, CJ is overlooked by Resistance members drawn to more traditional astromechs, but quietly tends to a low priority maintenance jobs, crossing off to-do lists that few ever look at. Multispectrum photoreceptor, plasteel drum body. Recessed door contains a variety of tool-tipped manipulators. Then right underneath that, we have the AD4M. AD is an administrative droid tasked with data processed and traffic management, handling the logistics of base operations, though aiding was more usually isolated in some sort of control room, shielding from interacting with other personnel. The unfinished nature of the Agent Class base puts AD in direct contact with the Resistance crew. They jokingly refer to AD as the concierge and make requests for luxury goods found only at a well-appointed hotels. Caught out more than once, AD has rewritten a subroutine to help filter out sarcasm and mixed results. So she has a vocabulator part. I don't know why I call it more sure. Her. I mean, it's a guy, Adam. But central processing dome housing AA5 vertebral brain. And I forgot to tell you about ACJK14 multispectrum. Oh, no, I did. Maybe I did. Multispectrum photoreceptor, plasteel drum body, and recessed door contains a variety of tool-tipped manipulators. We got some manipulators in here right now. Getting up all upset because I mispronounced something. Fun file. BB-8 accompanies Rey during her Jedi exercise, often keeping pace with more than 6 kilometers of cross-jungle travel. That's kind of fast. 6 kilometers an hour to be walking through the jungle. I mean, that's like a little less than 3. Well, I guess that's about what? 2.4 miles an hour walking. So it's about a mile an hour off what your average walk is. So, all right. We've got a R6 LE5 dome housing Intellect 8 computer system, the counterpart to the V2 SHP. Lift 5 is a freed astromech not belonging to any master. She follows the rank hierarchy as dedicated by resistance protocols, but defines her service as strictly voluntary. She and her counterpart carry out routine repairs and maintenance on the Tantive E4, ensuring its function as the command hub of Agent Class Outpost. All right, then we have an R6D8 with a primary photo receptor. Snap Wesley's loyal astromech R6 has flown with him since he joined the Resistance. In studying Wesley's logs, R6 has came across mention of Mr. Bones, a deadly battle droid that Wesley programmed in his teen years in an effort to please his master. R6 has attempted to dial up his aggression index, but does not dare override the factory set safety inhibitors in his personality matrix. That'd be a little R2D2 Mr. Bones rolling around. I know he's not R2D2, but you know what I'm saying, people. All right, just calm down before you get hurt. All right, and then we have R2 SHP. This is R6 LE5's counterpart. Shep is more gregarious of the 2 sibling droids, rolling in to help wherever he thinks it may be needed. An older R2 unit who has undergone frequent upgrades and refits to stay contemporary. Shep shows an earnest that may stem from a fear of obsolescence. And he has a logic function display. All right, now here we go. We have BB-8, one of the most favorite droids in Star Wars. I mean, obviously he's like the he's the most favorite droid of the sequels. I can't think of another droid that takes his place. He's right up there with R2-D2. Nobody likes C-3PO until this last movie. So, take with it what you will. But, all right, BB-8. BB-8 continues to serve the Resistance loyally, though he is now more likely to be found at Rey's side instead of flying into combat with Poe Dameron. As Poe's responsibilities have changed and he spends less time in an X-Wing, he has asked his droid to keep an increasingly isolated Rey company. BB-8 carries out his assignment with enthusiasm, for he has trusted Rey ever since the early encounters on Jakku. It is also not the first time BB-8 has had an extended separation from Poe, having spent a length of time aboard a fueling station on Castellan as part of a spy mission. And some people might say, hey, what is they talking about there? That would be from Resistance, the cartoon that some people don't really care too much for. But you go in thinking that it's geared towards a 6 or 8 year old mentality, then I can be a 6 or 8 year old and watch that show and get perfect enjoyment out of there as the I'm the target group. I might be 40, but they make a Star Wars for a 6 or an 8 year old. I can be 6 or 8. Not a problem. So here we go. We got BB-8 stays updated with frequently swapped out tool bay discs. Tool bay disc, fastening rim, replaced after damage. You got a little bit beat up by Rey there, but unintentional, but shit happens. Stainless inoxium chin, articulated hollow projector array and work light, high frequency receiver antenna, primary photoreceptors from floating lens assembly. All right, and then we got down here in the corner, it's BB-8. He is from Hosnian Prime. He is manufactured by Industrial Automation, Astromech droid. He's from the Resistance. He is 0.67 meters or 2.2 feet tall, and he is 6 years old. Sorry, excuse me. And the timeline for him is 5 BSI manufactured on Hosnian Prime, 4 BSI assigned to Poe Dameron and New Republic Defense Fleet, 3 BSI joins Resistance with Poe, 0.5 BSI spy mission to Castellan, reunited with Poe, meets Rey on Jakku, accompanies Finn and Rose on mission to disrupt hyperspace tracker, that's 00 BSI, and 1 ASI observes Rey's Jedi training on Agent Kloss. That's where he gets injured and has to have his tool bay disc fastening rim replaced after it was damaged. And here we go. That little guy right there. That's going to be the last one for this. Should have got through it in 2, but it took 3 because of some difficulties. And me being the only one up here speaking. I usually get a little... I usually got my buddy up here hanging out with me, and I do a page, and then I get a break of speaking for a page. But, difficulties all going around with the computers right now. So tomorrow night, the septic tank is going to be, I haven't done the thumbnail yet for it, but it is going to be, if it's what everybody wants, a solo watch party. So it's going to start at 10 o'clock. I figure about 10:15, 10:30, we'll start watching Solo. I'll tell everybody when. Hit boom, let's go. And there we go. It's going to be a little bit late for a couple people, I know. I'm sorry, but I was thinking about doing it a little bit earlier but I have a podcast to be on at 8 o'clock. So I'm not sure how long it's going to run. Even if it's an hour, if I say 9 o'clock, that's cutting it too close, so then we start late. So I'm going to start it at the regular Septic Tank time, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So, maybe our rural farm boy can take a nap. Maybe Pete doesn't start drinking his whiskey until 3 o'clock instead of noon. I don't know. Danielle just walked by and said, you have to always drink whiskey at noon. So, yeah. No, not Tatooine. It's a Patreon for BBMC. So, yeah, Pauline, sorry you can't join us. Eden, you can have your first beer. This is the. I mean, there's also a reason I quit drinking. But my whole thing was, it doesn't matter. Like, if you want to have a beer at 10 o'clock, a.m., have a beer at 10 o'clock a.m. because it all depends what your schedule is. If you're going to bed at 8 o'clock at night, that's like me saying if I'm going to bed at 2, I don't start drinking until 6. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Yeah, I just also wouldn't stop drinking. I'd drink until I went to bed, and then I'd, wake up. And if I had, that warm beer sit next to me when I woke up in the morning, you need something to wash that cigarette down with. Oh, those were the good old days. But yeah, so that's the plan. I'm going to fire up Solo. And I will... I'm not going to show it because I have that copyright strike against me. So if I get another one, they shut me down for 2 weeks. So I got to wait until August till I can start playing around again. Then I just get shut down for a week. But unless I just stream it live on Twitch. But Twitch has been getting a little strict on some stuff lately. Oh no, Pauline, it's not for patrons on my Patreon. I'm going to be on someone else's at 8 o'clock. It's going to be just on regular. So, I mean, it's going to be me sitting there with whoever else wants to come on. Maybe Pete will come on for a little while, and we'll just talk about whatever while we watch the movie. Not really commentary of the movie, but, who knows what we're going to talk about. I'll have my Solo art book and my making of Solo there, so we can, I can be flipping through those while we're talking about the movie, maybe pulling out some fun facts or whatever it is. But yeah, I think that might do it for today, and then we'll figure it out. I got to figure out when our other art books are coming out. I picked up so I now have all of the art books except for Revenge of the Sith. I'm waiting to find that one cheap. The newer art books, those are very extensive and long. So I mean, those take, those are an hour and a half a chapter, and there's 10 or 12 chapters or whatever. Those are the ones that take a while. But the older ones, like episode 1 and episode 2. Those ones I think I could go through pretty quickly in a couple sittings. So maybe after I got to figure out when the other books are coming out. Try and get those in there. And I know a couple people had asked me for some of the other books that I have to go over. that aren't necessarily art books, but like, yeah, we'll figure it out. There's always going to be something, and just trying to get as much stuff done and out there until I go back to work and see what happens when I go back to work. When I go back to work, and when I get that computer back, man, I already told Danielle when I get my computer back, I'm spending a day or two just playing the games. I'm gonna, do a 12-hour session on my first time playing Battlefront 2. Try and get some points up there. Just play for 12 hours straight. I don't know. 10 in the morning to 10 at night, take a couple breaks here and there or whatever. I got that other new game that I started playing. I don't even remember what the hell it was. It took me, I played it for 2.5 hours, 3 hours. It took me, I learned how to play the last 15 minutes. I was walking around doing nothing. Some Kingdom Come game. I don't know what the hell it's called, but yeah. And then, next thing you know, I'm going to be back at work. I'm not going to be hanging out with you guys every day, and I won't be doing any gaming, so I'm going to try and get all that out of my system. But Eden, I will let you know. We'll do a 12-hour stream from 12 to 12. Pete, I think you saw the game that I played. Is that what it's called? Kingdom Come? But Eden, yeah, I'll do it. This is what we'll do. We'll do it 12 to 12 on this first Saturday I get the computer back. We'll do it 12 to 12 or 10 to 10. And I'll go right from my 10 to 10, my 12-hour game, my 12-hour stream, and then we'll go right into the septic tank. I'll be all freaking nutty by then. Hanging out with you guys all day long. And just as long as I, have things clean and take out pop bottles and bathrooms cleaned and whatever else it takes, Danielle won't really care. She'll be happy. She gets to watch her TV shows and not have me bother her all day. Well, as soon as I get my computer back, man, that's what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting for them to call me. And then I'll make this really quick so we can catch Rebel Scum. But yeah, so they're bumping it up from 16 gigs of RAM to 24. They're putting in another terabyte drive. I got top. Well, not top of the line, because you get top of the line, you can talk about $600,000, $700,000, $2,000 for them. But this one, I got a Samsung. I think it's 970 Pro, which is pretty much top of the line until you get to like the, stuff that's $700, $800, $900, as far as I know, from what I could do my research on. But I think I'm going to get another drive and put that in there when they're fixing that up too. That way it's just all decked out, fast as it can go. Everything's all good. Don't have to ever worry about it again. All right, I'll see you all. Maybe we'll get some. Maybe we'll squeeze in a visual dictionary tomorrow. I don't know. I want to try and get a couple of collecting with Kylos at least recorded. Those are quick. Those are only take me. I can record. It takes me 15, 20 minutes to record it because sometimes I start over and do whatever and mess it up. But I can do 3 or 4 of those in an hour. It just takes me forever to edit them with the new computer. But maybe I'll try and squeeze in a visual dictionary tomorrow for a little while. We'll see what happens. But I'll let you guys know. Make sure your notifications are on. I'll hit it up in the chat beforehand or on Twitter. Pauline, you'll find. I mean, you won't find. You're not on Twitter, so you won't find out until right before. But with that, I say good day. May the force be with you. Always. Always.